Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another edition of Klis's Mike Drop. This is going to be OTA edition. Here we are. It's a short and compact off-season practice program for the Broncos. You know, it was productive OTAs last week. We were out there for Thursday's OTA session, and Bo looked good. I mean, that's the number one. That's the number one guy. That's the number one, not concern, but number one thing you're looking for the Broncos in 2025 is for Bo Nix to play well again in year two. He doesn't have to play that much better, at least not that much better compared to how he was in mid-season last year. He had that shaky start the first two games, but then bounced back after that, progressed as the season went along, had 3 or 4 monster games. So you like that with maybe just a tad more consistency, not the shaky start this year, especially with the Titans and the Colts the first 2 games before they get to a real tough portion of their schedule. But Bo's passes were firm. They had zip, but they weren't, you know, it wasn't a heavy ball. It wasn't too much of a fastball. They were on target, too. He had 2 real big-time throws to Bailey and Cortland Sutton during the team periods. So Bo looked really good. Rich Karlis was impressed. I was hanging out with him. I was hanging out with a lot of the alumni that were present there Thursday. Carl Mecklenburg, Tim Lucas, Steve Watson, Mark Cooper. Rich Karlis, you know, these place kickers, they watch practice probably more than any other player. There's just a special teams period, and even then, it's, you know, sometimes it's the punt and they don't participate. So Karlis knows what a good passing practice is, and he was really impressed with Bo Nix. For me, what really impressed me is what Bo Nix said afterwards. He had a press conference, and basically he was talking about, hey, he and the Broncos haven't done anything yet. Yeah, they broke the playoff streak last year. First time in 9 years they got to the postseason, but they did so with a 10-7 record and a number 7 playoff seed. And you know, in 2019 there wasn't a number 7 playoff seed. That was added for the 2020 season. So they got the 7th and final playoff seed, and then they got trounced by Buffalo in a first-round playoff game. So that exceeded expectations last year. A similar season will not exceed expectations this year. You kind of have been saying, you think the Kansas City Chiefs would have been happy with 10-7 and a number 7 playoff seed? I don't think so. So Broncos have to do better than that this year. Obviously, 11-6 is better. Winning a playoff game is better. I think those are the 2 goals for the Broncos in 2025 as they go into year 2 with Sean Payton and Bo Nix. But listen to what Bo had to say after practice.
It's a loaded question because each year you start over. Like I said, nobody really knows what anybody has. That's why you go out there and play the season. You know, if we were all what people said we were going to be, we wouldn't play the season. We would just finish with the final standings of what they said we were going to be. So that's why you play the game. That's why you go out there and go through a full season. And, you know, we're going to learn a lot from this time to the season. We're going to learn a lot once we get into the season and go. But, you know, it's got a buddy on the team we talk about all the time is, you know, we tell each other, you're still a nobody. You haven't done anything yet. And so we got a lot to prove, and we got a lot to go out there and do. And, you know, it's people like that keep you in check. It's guys like, you know, teammates that, you know, got your back and continue to motivate you. And because, you know, he's right. I haven't done anything up until this point, and I got a lot to prove, a lot to show. So
I think Bo gets it. You know, yeah, they exceeded expectations, but it was a low bar last year. It's going to be a little more difficult exceeding expectations this year because they're a lot higher. In fact, I can't remember a bigger swing in expectation in 1 year than the Broncos are going to confront this year. I mean, 5.5 was their over and under win total last year. I mean, they had that beat, you know, in week 10 with 6 wins. And so this year, you know, they got to get to 11 wins to exceed expectations and see what the Broncos do, how they handle it. Still a young team, still taking on $32 million of dead cap with Russell Wilson. So they didn't have quite the roster flexibility. that they're going to have in subsequent years. That's why I think the real run for the Super Bowl for the Broncos comes next year. Bo's third season, Sean Payton's fourth season. I think the Broncos have a chance to be legit Super Bowl contenders if all goes well in the progression in 2026. But this year, I think they can get to the Elite Eight in the NFL, and that would mean winning a playoff game. Something else you noticed at the Broncos OTAs was the new safety they have. With the long hair, you got Talanoa Hufanga, the free agent from the 49ers. The Broncos got him in free agency with a 3-year, $39 million contract, $20 million in guarantee. So Hufanga was their top free agent. They also got tight end Evan Ingram and inside linebacker Dre Greenlaw. But Hufanga is the marquee free agent that the Broncos got. And I tell you, you notice his presence out there. They got him in large part. Brandon Jones, the team with Brandon Jones, Hufanga's more of a quarterback type. Even though he can be a strong safety, he plays all over, Tasmanian devil type style, where he's sideline to sideline, front to back. But he's also good at setting people in positions, getting people coordinated with their assignments. So he looked really good. And 9 News is starting a new segment this year with a Broncos Minute. And basically, we do this for TV where you get to know your Broncos, whether they're new or returning. And this year we started with the number one new guy, and that is Talanoa Hufanga. And let's listen to the interview that I had with him last week.
Grew up in Corvallis, Oregon. Tell us about that.
Yeah, Corvallis was amazing. Grew up on a small farm, had cows, chickens, pigs, all that. So very, very different lifestyle. Where I went to college, I went to USC, so very different. But definitely blessed to was raised in Oregon for sure.
So mom and dad, they were farmers?
Yeah, I would like to say we were all farmers, but not the biggest farmers you would think of. But my dad grew up on a small island in Tonga in the South Pacific where he was raising cattle, horses, and farming. So when he moved to Oregon with my family, that was kind of something that we did growing up. So.
Now in high school, you played offense, defense. Were you quarterback?
Yes, sir. That's my claim to fame. I had an offer to Virginia to play quarterback. So that is my claim that I can play quarterback. If they need QB 5, 6, 7, that's me. So.
Why? How did safety and defensive back come into your profile then?
My mom saw me get hit one time at quarterback. She said, I'd rather you give the hit, so she told me to play safety. And then I went to USC to play safety instead.
Let's say you fast for 3 days and you can have any meal you want. What are you eating?
Oh, probably pizza. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a big pizza person, so.
What do you put on it?
Pineapple, come on now.
Oh. That was a dumb question.
I'm Polynesian, so I gotta put the pineapple.
Yeah, okay, I got you. And then how about breakfast? Are you a breakfast eater?
I am a breakfast person. I'm usually eggs, bacon, hash brown, the normal. Sometimes a waffle.
I remember when you broke in, it was probably a primetime game with the 49ers, and you had the natural comparisons to Palomalo. What do you think about that, by the way? Polynesian, the hair, all over the place, Tasmanian devil style.
I'm very fortunate. I worked with Troy. Been training with him for the last 4 years, and got to know him throughout college as well. Somebody that I truly admire, humbly like the comparisons, but I'm nowhere near where he was at. He was one of the greatest of all time. So for me, it is an honor, but for me, no disrespect, he is the best to ever play the game. So.
Well, you had 1 year like Palomalo where you're all Pro Bowl, and then the injury happened. Just tell us what it's like to have to shut it down like that and not be out there with your guys.
For me, it's a humbling experience, but it's something that truly gets to tell you and find out what you're really made of. You know, I went through a process of where my daughter was young and she was learning to walk, and she was walking faster than me. And so that's a very humbling time, and something that I learned, and I love that part because it truly makes you appreciate your everyday life first. And so thankful for an injury that happened like that, and what it truly brings out of your heart, and something that I can look forward to using on the field as I continue to play. Anything
else you want to say to the Bronco fans out there as far as what you're about?
Man, I'm just blessed to be here. Thank you guys for inviting me in and taking me in, and hopefully go out there and win some games to do our best.
Okay, so there you go. 2 interviews on 1 podcast here, Klis's Mike Drop. You had the quarterback of the offense in Bo Nix and the quarterback of the defense in Talanoa Hufanga. Huff, as we're going to call him, as he prefers to be called. The guy from Corvallis, Oregon. Raised on a farm outside of Corvallis. Very interesting person and a good person. I think Bronco fans are going to really gravitate toward Talanoa this year. Other topics, John Franklin Myers, the veteran defensive end, was not at practice. Everyone thought it was contract-related protest. That wasn't the case. He does have only 1 year and $7 million non-guaranteed left on his contract, so he would have the right to protest it. But he's been missing OTAs. He's a veteran who misses OTAs, does his own thing this for several years. And he will be at the mandatory minicamp next week. Boy, Broncos off season's over in a week, basically. So it's coming fast. The alumni golf outing was this Monday at the Omni Interlocking Golf Course. The old timers spoke to them all. You can go to 9 News and catch that report. Also on my Twitter page at Mike Klis 9 News. And talked to quite a few of the old timers, and they're all very impressed with Bo Nix. OTAs again this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We'll be out there. The media will be viewing the practice on Thursday. We'll give you another report on next week's Klis's Mike Drop. And again, just 1 week left. They have this week, and then next week you have the Broncos mandatory minicamp. I believe that is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week. So, and that'll do it. Then we'll be wrapping things up. So we'll have another interview or 2 with players on Klis's Mic Drop. Really appreciate you guys following along. There are more and more people as we gain momentum with this podcast. There's a lot of them out there. And we hope you find that this is one that's a go-to with the information you receive. I'm out there for every practice and have my own thoughts on what's going on. Looks pretty good to me. You know, it's always hard to tell. They're out shorts and a helmet. The new rookie running back, R.J. Harvey, looks real good. But we'll see soon enough during the preseason that you will be able to watch here on 9 News come August. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and we'll see you again next week.